everybody, my name's Judy Flanagan Kennedy, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the mayor of the city of Lynn, and I'm taking this segment on Lynn Community Television, the Lynn Lowdown, to talk with Jim Cowdell, who is our Director of Economic Development. Jim has been a very busy man in the last several months, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to take the time to catch the citizens up on what's going on as far as development in the city of Lynn, what is presently underway, and what you see the future holding for the city. So Jim, I want to welcome you here today. And I thought we would start with one of the places that you and I, as native West Lynners, are really excited to see. And that is the new Market Basket on Federal Street. Yes.
So as you alluded to, you and I both grew up in West Lynn. I think it's been somewhere between 25 and 30 years that we have witnessed this large area of asphalt that used to be GE Factory of the Future. In fact, I worked there in the 80s. Closed in 1985, 1986. It's been vacant since then. We had a interesting conversation with GE, and in fact, I think I can betray the confidence here and say that what really broke that logjam was when we were frustrated at one of our monthly meetings, and basically you said to them, if you don't come to the table and you don't sell this land, we're going to take a trip to corporate headquarters and bring the press with us. And next thing you know, they got serious. They sold the land to a local fellow from Swampscott, Charlie Patzios. And then we were able to roll out the red carpet. We gave a TIF, which is a tax incentive that you signed off and the city council unanimously voted for. We were able to get $2.5 million in a state grant for infrastructure improvements, and there'll be some traffic improvements in that area, and there'll be many neighborhood meetings upcoming to get the neighbors' input as well.
Good.
But the bottom line, Mayor, is there'll be a shovel on the ground. You already have seen the Factory of the Future has been demolished. You'll see a shovel in the ground spring, say March of next year, with the store being open soon thereafter. So 2017, there definitely will be a Market Basket open. It'll bring probably 400 jobs to that area.
And I have been to the Waltham Market Basket that recently opened, and my understanding is that the Lynn store is going to be patterned after that. It's going to have a sit-down eating area, yes, hot and cold food available, coffee, a regular cafe. So yeah, a little bonus, not just a good place to go shopping for good food at reasonable prices, but if you want to have somebody make the food for you, we'll have good food available for eating right on the premises as well.
Right, and one of the things that you fought for as well is that the jobs, the first priority will be Lynn residents. So we're really excited about the amount of jobs that it's creating, as well as a great opportunity to shop. So.
Very important. And so I want to move you down the common a little bit.
Okay.
And down toward Lynn City Hall and the downtown area, and focus a little bit on the restaurant scene that seems to be developing as a result of the auditorium being used quite a bit now. We have about 15 shows, I think, as of the date of this taping, that are on sale right now, and that must be doing something for the restaurant scene in the city of Lynn.
Yeah, anytime in the auditorium is air conditioned now, so you can have year-round shows. Anytime there's a show here in the auditorium, the downtown restaurants are packed. I think two things happened in the downtown. One is the auditorium and the success that it's had. The other thing is we had, as you know, the history of Lynn, which was at one point we were the shoe capital of the entire world. We had a bunch of old industrial shoe factories in the downtown, which that industry we lost to overseas. So what we did is we rezoned the downtown, and that allowed folks to move in to the downtown. We've got about 300 new residents living in the beautiful lofts in the downtown. And those folks live there, primarily work outside of Lynn and in Boston, but they have disposable income. And I don't think it's a coincidence that folks moved into Lynn with disposable income, and then the Blue Ox was a success, Rossetti's was a success, R.F. O'Sullivan's was a success. it's a direct correlation between activity in the downtown, whether it's the auditorium or people living in the downtown, and it has really led to a renaissance of restaurants in the downtown.
And my understanding is that those original lofts are really hard to come by. There are very few on the real estate market, but you do have a new development at the old Arnold Stationery Building?
Yeah, so I know I'm showing my age when I reference I reference that. I reference that as the Arnold Stationery Building because when we were a kid in 33 Central Square, anybody that needed school supplies, they went to Arnold Stationery.
That's right.
And so that's what you were talking about. So it was a building that didn't have a roof. It was in complete disrepair. It was condemned. Big red X on the front door so the firefighters wouldn't go in because it was a risk to them. EDIC purchased the building, renovated the building into 8 artist live workspaces. And so we completely have renovated it. It's completely done. It's on the market. They're selling. We're closing on our first unit this week. We anticipate them selling like this now. Within the next couple of months, they'll be sold out. So,
congratulations.
thank
And
you.
the facade is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I didn't feel any natural air conditioning coming in, so I
No.
assume the roof has been
That's right.
repaired and replaced.
Yes.
Good. Now I just want to move you a little bit closer to the waterfront because
Okay.
we do have another big residential development on the inland side of the Lynnway, but then there are other developments taking place on the coastal side.
Yes.
So if you could just give us a brief update on those, it would be great.
Well, there's a bunch of things going on. So North Shore Community College, number one, is expanding, and that's a key component of the waterfront development. The lower Washington Street, there's a huge development going on, mixed-use development, but by Lynn Housing and Neighborhood Development Associates. That shovel is in the ground in the next month or so. If you come across the street to what we refer to as the Beacon Chevrolet site, which
Again, we're showing
our age. That's right. But it's a vacant. It's 14 acres. It's on the water. It has been vacant. Beacon Chevrolet was last used. That was about 27 years ago. So it's been vacant a long time. There's an $80 million proposal for 355 residential units. And that looks like it's definitely going to happen. That will transform the waterfront because it's really the first development of our new vision that we have for the waterfront. So we're psyched about that. As you start to come down the Lynnway, you have the commuter ferry project, which was about a $7 million investment. We just got word about a week ago that we got a $4.5 million grant so that we can buy our own ferry.
Terrific.
So that looks like that's going to happen. And then if you're coming into Lynn over the bridge from Revere, two sides, obviously, of the Lynnway. On the non-water side, so as you're coming in from Revere on the left-hand side, used to be the gear plant of GE.
Yes.
That was sold to the same person who's doing Market Basket, Charlie Patzios. He's looking at a very large residential project, about 1,300 units. We're working with him on that. On the right-hand side, which is, you and I would refer to it as the Harbor House, and I can't remember all the other names that used to be there, but that's been vacant for a long time. That's another project. It's a $79 million project. The owner is Joe O'Donnell. We're working with him on that.
Terrific.
That's mixed use, so there's a bunch of things going on.
Great. Jim, thank you so much for updating us. And I know you're working with the lead team, as I
Yes.
am, and
Yes.
hopefully you'll come back for another segment and we can go a little more in depth about what the
Great.
lead team has been doing.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Lynn Lowdown with our guest, Jim Cowdell.